Hello everyone, we're back today working on this beautiful car, which is my mate's first car. As you may have seen in the previous video, we've done a few things to it, but today we are going to install some HIDs. So if you don't know what HIDs are, it's basically this kit here. HID, I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure what colour it is because it says 6000K, which has been crossed off. I don't actually know what colour temperature it is, but different numbers mean different colours. So 6000K is basically like a whitish colour. In fact, this will give you an idea of what it looks like. So you've got 4300K, which is close to white, but yellowish, about white, blue, light blue or aqua blue, deep blue, and I reckon this is a bit purpley, blue purple colour. So that's the comparison of the different colour temperatures, and that's how colour temperatures work. The K stands for Kelvins. So if we open the box, it gives us instructions. Let's see, does it tell us what colour it is? Not necessarily, but we're going to go ahead and install them anyway, see what happens. I'll just show you the colours of the old one. I'll just set my GoPro here. So we'll show you the normal colour bulbs. So you can see these are the old bulbs. No one likes the yellow ones. So we're going to change these today and basically turn them blue. Get rid of these crap ones and fit these ones on. Also, if we get a chance, we'll probably fit the air filter. You may have seen in the last video we tried to fit the air filter. It sounds good, deep raw. However, I found that I didn't really like the way it sits because it's all wobbly and all loose. So we've got a fix for that, which is this. This is the old one. I've basically tried to go for Focus RS style, so I've drilled some holes. And as you can see, it looks magnificent, isn't it? It's beautiful. So that's what we're going to fit if we get a chance today in this video, but if not, the next video. We'll see how we go for time. For this, you'll need some tools to fit these. We're going to use this vernier caliper to basically measure this grommet, because we are going to drill a hole in the back of the headlight on the dust cover. So we're going to measure this, see how big this is, the gaps. I'd say use a step down drill, and I will show you what I mean. You'll also need some safety gloves to keep your hands clean, pliers and grips when you're going to cable tie things, probably a torch to see what you're doing because it'll be dark in the garage, some power tools, drills and an impact drill, possibly a trim tool, you'll need that. You'll need some water to drink to keep you hydrated as you're working on the car. 3/8 tools, possibly a tool, and these are the step down drills that I'm talking about here. So we're going to use this to make a small hole, then we're going to use this to cut through as a larger hole. Now bear in mind you don't need that many tools, so I've just thought I'd bring them home to make lives easier whilst I'm working on this piece of crap. But yeah, join me and you'll see what's going to happen. So we're now approaching the engine bay. We've fitted some gloves to keep my hands protected from dirt. Oh, excuse me, I need to burp there. That's not very attractive, but whatever. Here is the engine. As you may have saw from the last video, this is a 1.6 piece of crap, but you know what, it's pretty nippy. It sounds pretty good, especially with this pod filter. As you can see just there, isn't that a magnificent piece of engineering? Halford's £20 if anyone's interested, FYI. But we'll start with this headlight. We'll start on the driver's side one first because it's easier to get to. As you can see, upside down, if you can see with my torch, nice and bright. Oopsie daisy, whatever. Oh dear. That hasn't worked very well. Anyway, here is the dust cover that we need to remove. As you can see, held on by one clip only. That one's missing. Right, so we've got this removed. This is the dust cover. Let's turn off this light. Hopefully it should be bright enough for you guys to see, because I've got my lights above the garage. But what we're going to do, we're going to drill through this side of the hole. As you can see, I'm going to start from this side outwards and then crack these, whatever you call them, make it more roomy for the bulbs to feed through. And the reason I need to cut a hole through these is because these bulbs here, the grommet has to feed through here. These go onto the original cable. These drill out, so the grommet sits in here. It has to be tightly sealed because in the winter you may get condensation for the headlights. And these new cables here are going to the ballast. What I mean by the ballast is this is the ballast that we need to connect it to, and this is what's going to power the headlight bulbs to give it more power, because we need 35 watts. HID stands for high intensity discharge. It works like a welding light, I guess. It creates like a bright spark in the bulbs, which what makes it brighter. I wouldn't say they're legal, so we are filming this for off-roading purposes only, just so everybody knows. And yeah, hope you enjoy this, and we will carry on once I start drilling a hole. Okay, you joined me back, and we have finally drilled a hole through the back of the dust cover. Isn't that amazing, or what? Beautiful masterpiece. And I got it nice and round using this drill. Isn't it beautiful? But the only thing that's not beautiful is the mess I made on the floor. But that's why you call it housekeeping, because you clean the floor afterwards. But anyway, back to this, how I drilled the hole, you may be wondering. Well, to begin with, I used a vernier caliper. This tool right here, if you ever have used one, or a digital vernier caliper, as you open it, the measurement becomes bigger or smaller. The whole reason I did this is because I wanted to measure the grommet size. So with one hand on the camera, I will show you what I mean. And what I'm basically measuring is, if you can see, I am measuring the gap in between the grommets, and it's giving us roughly a reading of around 22 millimeters, 0.8 millimeters at a push, maybe 23. And remember that reading, 22 to 23 millimeters, whoopsie daisy. And what I'm basically measuring each step down to see how far down I should go. So in this case, that's 19. I think that is about 21. So how many steps is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4 away, with a reading of 21. I'll say that's going to be a snug fit, and it's going to be watertight. So that's how far down I went. From the inside, I basically just started drilling like that, as I got as far down as I can to the point where I'm supposed to stop. So now that we've done that, flip over the other side. We now need to break these tabs off, just so the grommet on this sits nicely flush, because you don't want it to sit crooked. That will allow some sort of air in and allow condensation inside the headlights and dust, hence why it's called a dust cover. And it's got a seal to keep it watertight, otherwise there'll be moisture inside the headlights. So shall we do that now? Yeah, why not? So we'll break it off with some pliers. For some reason these BMWs, I don't know why they put grills on. Maybe it's to stop people tampering with them and stop modifying them, and you know, etc, etc. So we'll just break this one off. There you go. And that's all you want to do. You just want to get nice and flush. Simply so the grommet fits nicely, and it's as easy as that, really. Ooh, that's not so easy. Let's try this one. Is this one any easier? Ah, made a mess of that, so I'm going to have to grind that down somehow. There you go, nice and flush on that one. But yeah, you get the idea. Just get it nice and flush, sand it down if you've got any sandpaper, or yeah, and then I will fit the headlight bulbs and show you what it looks like. And would you look at that, sitting nicely flush? Isn't that wonderful? It's a bit dark in there. Shall I turn my torch on? Yeah, why not? Look at this. If you ever wonder where I bought this torch from, Amazon. Whoa, it's a bit too bright for the camera, but I'll dim it down. This is as dim as it gets. Sealey. I forgot what the name of this is. Does it tell you? Will it tell you? There you go, model number L2D3604R. I will put this onto the link for you to buy one, should you ever want to buy one. I've had this for over 2 years now. Not only does it do dimming, but it does the little light here. I call this the magic wand, because it's just like Harry Potter. But anyway, if you look at this, I have now successfully installed the new bulbs. So like I said, HIDs, or like anyone likes to call it, fake IDs, whatever. These connects onto the original plug. You can see how the grommet sits nice and flush inside, watertight. On the other side now, these 3 cables will now go onto the ballast, which is that one there. Now you may be wondering, where does the ballast go? Well, you just have to find somewhere to mount it, really. In this case, we'll probably mount it here. I'll say the best place is to mount it is somewhere so it doesn't get too hot and there's some air going in from the engine bay. You don't want to put it anywhere like near the auxiliary belt, for example, which is, if you can see it down here. I mean, ideally you don't want to put it into the belt because it will shred and it will eat. But yeah, you want to put it somewhere that's accessible. You can always stick it on the wheel arch here if you really wanted to, or depending on what car you've got, you can always hide it somewhere so it's hidden away. But in our case, we'll probably just cable tie it here because this is only a quick mod, and we're running short for time because I want to start filming the air intake pipe modification. Well, sorry, air intake box modification. But yeah, shall we go ahead and put these on and plug it in? Yeah, why not? I'll be honest with you, it's very hard to do this when you're only one person. I don't have anyone to help me film this because of COVID restrictions. Shall we try it ourselves? Yeah, why not? Let's move this ballast out of the way. In fact, I'll just pull this out just so it gives us a little more room to play with. So, the bulb, get you a light. The bulb basically just wants to go into the original hole. Easier said than done. But let's see if we can line up. You should be able to see it come out from this side. Can you see it? Yes, you can. Now, you can't fit these the wrong way around because they only go in one way, and that piece of pink wire there usually faces downwards. So I'll try and plug it in. You know what, I'll come back to you. And would you look at that, I have successfully installed those bulbs. So you can see it now goes through the dust cover, We've just got to connect these two wires up, which I'll do in a moment. And I basically just plug into this one, the original clip. Is that what you call it? Yeah, they just go in there basically. And you can see the bulb just there. That's the new bulb that's just been fitted. Basically all that's left now, obviously connect that wire, put the dust cap on and connect the ballast. Now with these two wires you can't get them wrong, because red is red, brown is brown, or black. So black tends to be the ground wire, which is this brown one for the original BMW, which is the ground, and the red one's the power, which is this one here, the red for the power. If you do get them the wrong way around, all you got to do is switch them around and it should start working. Now that we've done that, basically put the cover back on. Ooh, if I can do it with one hand, we shall see. So there we have it. We have got one HID bulb installed on the driver's front side. Nice and bright. I did find out what colour these were. Apparently the 12,000 Ks, which is as blue as it gets. You see here? You see that? Apparently it says 12,000 K. Unbelievable. Apparently it's meant to be purple. Okay, look at it, like a light blue, bluish colour maybe. It does look nice though. I know there is a beam pattern, as you can see here. I've got my bin in the garage. I do recommend getting your headlights aligned, just to make you aware. Now this car comes with a canvas warner, a warning cancelator they call it. Basically it eliminates the canvas on the system. What was happening earlier was that it was just flickering. It was like on off, on off, on off, you know, going crazy. But once I fitted one of these in, you know, it's gone off nice and smooth. So you can see just how I fitted it. With the rubber seal, nice and tight, watertight, airtight, no sort of leakage. And this we just need to put it somewhere really. So I'll probably, for the time being, stick it there, tie it up with a cable tie, and drop the biddy. And just got to do the other side. You can see the difference now. Look how beautiful they look, really nice and blue. Might be a bit hard to see in the camera, but we'll wait till it gets dark and you know what I mean when I see it. You'll see it and you'll love it. Maybe you should change the fog lights too. We've got fog lights on these, as you can see down there. Maybe you might as well put HIDs in the fog lights. But we'll let him decide and we'll go from there really, but yeah, it looks really lovely. Right, time to do the other side now, get that done over and done with. And hopefully tinker with this bloody induction hot filter, whatever you want to call it. Amazing, isn't it? Update, and we are finally done. I finally installed the HID bulbs on that one, HID bulbs on that one, both of which have been done. I'll show you how neat I've done it. Get my trusty torch, so you can see I've cable tied it somewhere secured, just so it doesn't move around. And the same applies towards the passenger front side. Nice and secured, wires out the way. So I will show you what it looks like once I get this all set up. You can see just how nice and blue they are now. So blue on that side and blue on this side. How beautiful does that look? As mentioned, I do recommend that you get a headlight alignment out of the garage done, just to make sure you don't blind other people or other road users as you drive along the motorway or whatever way you want to go. The one thing I should suggest to you also is that if you don't, you are known as something else instead of a HID. You're known as an idiot for having bright light for the incorrect lens. I've just noticed that there is a colour distinction between those two, so you can see that one's a bit more bluer and that one isn't so blue, it's more whitish. So it looks like whoever supplied me these bulbs, I've got it all wrong. Idiots. But besides that, look how beautiful they are. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will move on to the air filter in the next one. Take care.